As I did with one of my earlier videos, I neglected to include a very crucial piece of information in the final video, so I'm making this addendum to the final video. And this is about whether or not you should hire a tour guide or not during your first time trip to Istanbul. It really depends on what your budget is, because the minimum a personal tour guide could charge could be $175 at minimum. It can go up even more than that as well. The suggestion I would have is that if you have a large group going with you, it probably makes more sense to hire a tour guide, because obviously then you're talking about, let's say if you have a family of let's say you have 2 or 3 people with you in your group, and you break down if he's charging, he or she is charging, let's say $200 a day, so divided between 4 people, it's $25 per person. So maybe when you have more people in your group, it makes sense to have a tour guide as compared to if you're just going with your family or going by yourself. Now, the first time I went to Istanbul in 2007, because it was my first time there, I did hire a personal tour guide. He ended up becoming he's now a very good friend of mine, actually. He doesn't do any tour guide for me since I'm fairly used to the city, but he did a spectacular job. Planned my itinerary. I told him what I wanted to see, and he planned it out exactly that way, and gave his own suggestions as well. My suggestion would be you should Google private tour guides in Istanbul, and Google, and essentially look at the tour guides, at their ratings, how much they charge per day. Do they offer, some of them might offer a car to drive you around in, some of them might not. So it depends on what you want to do. It depends on how you want to go about it, and if you want to spend that type of money or not. So those are my views about hiring a private tour guide. They will be, if you do, they will be extremely helpful. But if you plan your trip properly and you have, use Google Maps, Google Translate, then there's really, and if you're on a budget, then having a tour guide, then you really don't need a tour guide. But if you have the budget, let me back up. Not having a tour guide is not a deal killer. Is what I wanted to say. If you're on a budget and if you use Google Maps, Google Translate, kind of in a proper way when you're in Istanbul. But if you have the budget and you have a larger group with you, then it makes sense to hire a private tour guide. So those are my views about hiring private tour guides. Like I said, my friend doesn't do active touring anymore. He's gone into some other businesses. He only takes previous clients who's contacted, who he's done touring for, and he would do tours for them, or I'm guessing also on reference as well. If you really want to know or get in touch with him, send me a message on Twitter and I can get in touch with him and connect you with him. His wife also was a tour guide also, but she's also kind of branched out to other businesses as well, and she'll still do touring, not as much, but like I said, she'll do it for previous clients also. So once again, if you're really interested, ask me on Twitter and I can let you know, but I can put you in touch with him. And those are my views on whether or not to get a tour guide in Istanbul or not.